in this video, we're going to talk about printing stuff to the screen, drawing shapes on the screen, and also detecting a screen input, and finally adding like a rumble on your controller. So rumble, I mean, it's right here. All you do is add the rumble. So maybe if I see that something has been detected by the optical sensor, I want to have a rumble come to the controller. There's different types of rumbles. There's like a long rumble, so it'll be like the rumble will repeat multiple times, and each rumble will be like for a really long period. Then there's short rumbles, so it's like a small rumble and then it waits for a while and then it rumbles again. And then there's pulse, which means it's like consistently rumbling decently short periods. Yeah, that's rumble. Then let's talk about printing stuff to the screen. So maybe when I start my code, I want to say that code has started. So I do code started, right, onto the brain. And if you want, you can also print things to your controller. As you saw, there's also console over here. Console is this thing. So console is the screen that is on your computer. Now, of course, it'll only print stuff on this console if you have it connected to your computer at the same time. But you might not be using the console much, because if you're doing block coding, you're not going to really be doing a lot of troubleshooting, most likely. So that's printing stuff directly. Now, by default, when you print something to the screen, it starts at the cursor 0, 0, and at that point, it's in the very top left corner of the screen, both on the brain and on the controller. So let me just show you a grid real quick. Yeah, so if you look at this, right, this is how it is on the controller screen. There's 3 rows and 19 columns, I guess. And yeah, things are split like this. And when you set it to 1, 1, which is the default, if you don't set anything, it will start in this top left corner. The controller screen is like significantly smaller than the brain screen. And the brain screen has, as you see, like 48 columns and 12 rows instead. So ideally, if you want to print a lot of information, you do it onto the brain. The only thing is you won't be able to see the brain very well when you're actually in the middle of your match. But yeah, these are good photos to use as reference when you're just coding. So to set the position that you want to start typing it or start printing onto the screen with, you use this set cursor thing. So by default, again, as I said, it starts at 1, 1, which is okay. But if you want to print other information as well, like I want to leave code started, but I also want to add some other stuff onto the screen, I have to change my cursor to another position. So maybe row 2, and print pneumatic is open, right? So if you want to print different information, you have to make sure that you change the cursor, because if you leave it the same, if you leave it at 1, 1, it's going to overwrite. Like it's going to write with this previous code, and it's going to start getting really messy, especially if you put any of this stuff into a loop and things go wild. So yeah, I suggest usually you should just use set cursor rather than using 1, 1 as the default. Okay, so that's printing stuff to either of the screens, brain or controller. Now there is clear, obviously. Clear, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. There's fonts. Now, these are the drawing parts of it. We have the line, pixel, rectangle. I think they're fairly self-explanatory as well. These numbers I haven't really played a lot with, but one of them is most likely, or 2 of them might be like the location on the screen where the circle starts from, or where the circle center is, and then the other one might be like the the diameter or radius or something. That's probably something similar for the rectangle as well. Of course, you can change the color of your pen or whatever you're drawing with. So what you draw with is called your pen on here. You can change the thickness of your pen, and you can also set the background of the brain to be some solid color. So you could have it like one of these, Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. For putting an image onto your screen for the brain, it is possible, but I'm not sure if you can do that with block code. But yeah. Anyway, yep, that's it.